Hi guys, so for my video tutorial I'm going to show you how I learned how to turn an image into a texture that you can put over other photos. So you want to start by getting your texture. You can find one online. I found mine from Unsplash. You're just going to take your texture and put it over the image of your choice that you want texturized. I'm doing it on my cat, and you want to expand it over the whole photo. And after you're done that, the handy keyboard shortcut you want to use is holding down Shift while using the plus and minus keys in order to pick a blending mode, and you want to do that while the texture is selected. You can kind of go through it and decide which one you think has the best effect you want to use. For me, I think that the overlay or soft light shows the texture the best. I'm just going to use the overlay because I also like how the lighting looks. And then say that you think part of the texture is a little bit too defined, say by his neck here, you want that gone. That little indent that goes too far. You can do that by just using the clone stamp tool while having that layer selected. And you want to make sure it's on the current layer, otherwise it will also affect the photo below it. And you'll hold down Option and you can change the indent or the part of the texture that you want less defined. Okay, and after you've done that, you can see how that looks. And then say you want the texture to only be in the background or to be in the main subject, like the cat here. You can do that by losing visibility of the texture, and you go to Select, Subject. Once it selects the subject, you can go back to your texture and add layer mask. And as you can see, it adds the texture only to the cat. And you can change that to go to the background by just making sure it's selected on the layer mask, holding Command and pressing I. And it can go back and forth, and you can see what it looks like with the background or the subject. So I'm going to keep it on the subject, keep it on the cat. And another thing you can do is you can change the look of the texture by changing the levels, which you can find by pressing Command L, and then you can change the levels, and it can change the definition of the texture. If you're happy with the texture looks from the levels, you can also say change the color, how it has a little bit of a yellowy undertone, the texture. You can change that by pressing Command U, which brings up the hues and saturation, which will also affect the texture. If you press colorize, it will do the whole thing. You can kind of experiment with that. I'm gonna go with like an orangey undertone to match his fur. And yeah, that's how you turn a photo into a texture.